last class, we discussed a bit of syllabus, 6 modules, as I told earlier also. Out of those, 3 are dedicated mechanical engineering modules and 2 are dedicated to control engineering, and 1 is exclusively microprocessor and microcontroller is dedicated to electronics engineering. And as I told you last class also, we'll try to cover up the syllabus to the maximum details, and as and when required, we'll try to seek guidance and expertise from other departments as well. Yes, Suresh, you have any doubt, please? Hello? You can share your questions later on, Suresh. Yeah. So we had reviewed the syllabus, and I had also told that all the learning material will be made available to you. No need to worry about any of the learning materials. And to the extent possible, I'll try to be simple and straightforward without any high fundas. The way mechanical engineers can understand, I'll try to put it that way. I told you about the books also. Most of the books are available in our library. I discussed about mechatronics lab, which we already have, and I told you regarding the evaluations, the type of evaluation we'll be having for theory classes as well as the practical classes. I just briefly told you about the definition of mechatronics, what are the constituent branches involved in mechatronics, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, computer engineering, and control engineering. So it's a synergistic combination of all these 4 branches. I briefly discussed about this amalgamation, and I briefly discussed about the scope. Then I discussed about the basic elements like sensors and actuators, signal conditioning devices, control devices, display devices that I briefly discussed in the last class. I also discussed about what are the benefits or advantages and limitations of mechatronic system. Then we had started off with some practical examples. This I had discussed a bit faster. Will start from here. Every one of you is aware about the anti-skid braking system. I told you briefly about this anti-skid braking system. This is one of the examples of mechatronic system which is widely used in most of the vehicles. At least the front wheels have this anti-skid braking system available. If you see any of the vehicles, what you can see is a disc is there, and on the disc you have these mounts which provide you the pulsating braking action. The braking doesn't happen when we press in the conventional braking system. When we press the brake pedal, the shoes just stick to the brake drum, and the wheels are stopped instantaneously. And in the process, if you're moving at 80-100 kilometers per hour, as the wheels are locked, the vehicle tends to skid. So this is the problem of conventional braking system. To overcome that, this mechatronic device is used. What is done is you get a pulsating braking action, which the frequency of that braking pulses is very high, and in a short span, within certain milliseconds, you get thousands of braking actions all over the disc. And in the process, what happens is that locking action of the brake is prevented, and the vehicle stops, but it stops without skidding or without locking of the wheels. So this is the big advantage of this anti-lock or anti-skid braking system. We'll discuss this in details later on as and when it is required. We have discussed about the airbag system also, that we have as a safety measure in most of our vehicles nowadays. On the front bumper, we have the sensor, the piezoelectric sensor is there, which is also called as the accelerometer. That accelerometer, it can also be called as decelerometer. When the vehicle experiences a dash or a collision, the accelerometer is activated. In a sense, the vehicle, when it is moving at maybe 100 kilometers per hour, when there is a collision, there is a sudden deceleration. The speed abruptly reduces, and that reduction in speed is sensed by our piezoelectric sensors, and that signal is sent to the actuating devices which are mounted on the steering wheel bracket, and one more airbag is there on the dashboard. So both the dashboard as well as the steering wheel where the horn is located, beneath that there are actuators, and those actuators they do two things. They inflate the airbags which are within, and they open up the front plastic portion of the dashboard. So within 10 to 12, the time varies, 10 to 12 milliseconds, the balloons are opened up, and because of the collision, the human body tends to move forward, and it might dash either on the glasses or on the steering wheel or on the dashboard. That is prevented by these airbag systems. So this is a typical and common example of mechatronic systems we see nowadays. Then for navigation, for auto navigation, of course, we make use of our satellite communication system. Net connection is required, and through that you have the GPS tracker which is there in your vehicle. The way your Google Map works, you can track the path sitting in your vehicle, isn't it? Google Map guides you. In a similar way, that mechatronic device can help you in navigating the path. Further, if you are in a auto cruise mode, now this concept is less used in Indian context, but in European countries, this auto cruise control is a common concept. There are many autonomous vehicles which are used in European countries and developed countries. When you are, it is sort of an autopilot mode. The driver can relax, putting the vehicle on the autopilot mode, and the vehicle just identifies if there are obstacles, and accordingly, automatically it provides the braking action. It makes the steering action automatically. It increases or decreases the speed automatically based on the road condition. Where there are no obstacles and the road is clear, the acceleration is automatically done. And when there are obstacles in between, the speed is automatically reduced. So this is one more example of mechatronic system. In aircraft, it's a common practice to have all the mechatronic systems. Now these systems are, earlier they used to call it as fly-by-wire concepts. Earlier, fly-by-lever concept was there. Most of the hydraulic system used to be there for operation of your fins, the wings, to increase the lift or to decrease the lift, and to provide the forward thrust of the aircraft. Two sticks, as you can see, the pilot has these two sticks. One is cyclic stick and autonomous sticks. Two sticks used to be there, and earlier the system used to be a mechanical come hydraulic system, actuation system they used to have. But now, with the advent of mechatronics, most of the systems are mechatronic, involving a lot of electronics. That is also called as avionic systems. So the actuation is taking place through a mechatronic device. All the control actions are taking place through the mechatronic devices. Even the increase of thrust, forward thrust, so to say, increase of velocity, or increase of lift or decrease of lift, all these things are done by these mechatronic devices. Now this is also, you must have seen earlier also, because this is a flight simulator. This is provided for the training of the pilots. These flight simulators, these simulators are not only used for aircraft pilots, but these are used for mariners as well, the ship drivers, so to say. They also are provided with these simulators, flight simulators, marine simulators, plus automotive simulators also. You must be knowing the concept. I'll briefly try to tell you about this simulator. As you can see, there is a base to the simulator, and you have a chair which is similar to your driving chair, and you have this three screens it is shown, but normally it might have more number of screens, and you have those goggles also placed on your eyes, and you are detached from other distractions. You are in a virtual driving mode, and these things you must have seen in your gaming as well. We have those gaming consoles which give you that virtual feel as if you are driving the vehicle. So these simulators are provided not only with pictorial simulations. It appears as if you are on a road, or you are in the air, mid-air, if it is a case of flight simulator. But basically, when you are taking off, if the aircraft is taking off, whatever thrust you feel, whatever lift you feel, whatever jerks you feel, all those jerks and thrusts and vibrations are generated at the base, so that you have that feel of flying an aircraft. Similarly, the automotive simulators, if you are in a simulator, you have that feel of bump of the road, you have the feel of twisting of your body when you are taking left turn, right turn. All those things are provided by this hydraulic system beneath your chair. It provides you all the vibrations, it provides you all the jerks, right, left jerks, upward, downward jerks. So apart from your eyes, your body is also experiencing that driving or flight or marine experience. So this is also a high-end example of mechatronic system. We will see few of the manufacturing system examples, and as you know, CNCs are operational right from 1980s. So partially mechatronic systems are in use in manufacturing industry for a while now. Computer numerical control, you have automatically guided vehicles which are using mechatronic devices and robots, of course. You have welding robots, spray painting robots, assembly robots, and inspection robots. As these are shown on the assembly line or welding station, continuous welding station. In tandem, the vehicle body in white, BIW that is called, that is welded, the entire frame structure is welded through robo. So robo is a typical example of a mechatronic device. We'll be discussing robots in details later on. This is a pick and place type of a robo, wherein it is picking up the object from other belt conveyor and it is placing on some other conveyor. So this is so there are many applications of mechatronic systems in manufacturing. Now in this slide I have shown just one example of a surgery robo, and as you can see here, apart from surgery, this MRI is also an example of mechatronic system. Now CT scan, computer tomographic scan, there also the table moves in and your computer tomographic scans are done. And then you have robotic surgery. This is what is shown. It's a gross picture that is shown. It's a gross surgery that is shown. Of course, one must remember that the robot doesn't do the surgery autonomously at present. It requires the assistance of a surgeon as well, medical surgeon. So his hands, that is also called as lead through type of a robo, wherein the similar operations are done by the surgeon on a mock model, and the same is duplicated by this robotic arm on the patient. Now this is a gross movement robo you have seen. You have very fine movement robos. Those are used in eye operations, maybe retina surgery. Those are all micro electromechanical robos. And these are a wonder. Now these are the nano robots which are being developed and being used. As you can just think of the concept, whatever drugs, whatever pills we take right now, we take by mouth, and wherever it is required, that chemical, that drug is distributed to the painful area. But these nano robots can take those drugs, can pick those drugs, and they can take through your bloodstream. They can travel to the affected area, and at the location where you want to give your drugs, those can be delivered. Well, these are in the early stages, but see the scope of nano robots, that those are being used in medical healthcare. And as you must have seen during this pandemic, many mobile robots are being developed to treat these COVID-19 patients. You must have seen in Mumbai, even in Sholapur Railway Hospital, one of our students only has provided this mobile robot who can do the work of a nurse. The robot can provide you with the medicine trays will be there, those can be retracted or pushed forward, plus the temperature readings can be taken up by the robot. And all those formal tests can be done by these healthcare robots. So it's a big revolution. This is also one example of a mechatronics device, and the high-end applications are limitless, as I told you. We have NASA Mars rover. This is one more example of a mobile robot. Even Chandrayaan everywhere. Unfortunately, we could not succeed. But these robots are being operational. At this point of time, let me remind you of one thing. I'm really happy to share with you that our institute, A.G. Patil Institute of Technology, has become an outreach center, authorized outreach center for ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing Institute, Hyderabad plus ISRO. We have signed, so to say, MOU, and the benefit to the students would be. To start with, we have one course that is coming up on 29th. You can talk to Jirge sir if you have his number, or if you are interested to join that course. I think the deadline must have been over. But this first course is starting on 29th. It's a 7-day certification course conducted by ISRO and IIRS, and our institute will be the collaborating institutes. We already have around 70 participations from all over India. We have participants from Madhya Pradesh, we have participants from Karnataka, we have participants from Maharashtra. Our own institute participants, electronic students mainly are there, but if you are interested, and we have many more courses coming up. Probably in the second week of July itself, there is one more course coming up. For that, you can be in touch with Jirge sir of electronics department, and he'll tell you about the modes of enrollment and the sort of certification that you'll be getting. Of course, the lecture material will be provided to you. Online lectures would be there. The timings would also be convenient. Plus, there'll be some assignments, some tests. But remember, the certifications from ISRO, IIRS will have more value. So at this point of time, as we are going through the space applications, I am reminded of that. So after the class, you can immediately talk to Jirge sir. If the registrations are still open, you can register for the course. The details of the course you can get from him. But don't worry, if you're not able to join that course, forget about it. Next course is coming up, and throughout the year, these courses would be there at your convenient times. So don't bother about time. Only thing is that you have to register through our organization, and whatever assignments we need to do, whatever lectures we need to attend, quizzes you have to attend, and plus the end semester exam is also there. So that will be beneficial. As you know, we have spoken tutorial also. You can join those. You can join NPTEL courses as well. So there is abundant opportunity for you. So moving forward, these are the space applications, and this is space station. The space station robo. You can see the Kalpana Chawla recording is available on YouTube. All the astronauts have put their space videos. You can see how they are assisted by the robots. So that is also one more example of a mechatronic system. The military applications are also many. We'll discuss briefly, and as I'm looking towards the time, we are another 3-4 minutes available. We'll quickly complete these applications part. And in next class, remember, we'll be starting with sensors and transducer part. This is also unit 1 only. We'll be finishing off the introduction part this lecture, and next lecture onwards we'll be starting with sensors and transducers. So we have bomb detection system. These robots are taken towards the suspected area wherever bombs are likely to be checked. So there these bomb detection systems move, and they provide you safety. nullify the effects of bombs. Then you have surveillance applications, unmanned air vehicle, and drones, which were used during the Kargil war. You must have seen this is one example of unmanned air vehicle which is used for military applications, and these drones are being used for many applications, right from reconnaissance, for agricultural applications, for meteorological applications. These drones are being used. For military applications also the drones are being used. So these are the high-end examples of your mechatronic systems. We'll quickly wind up, and these are the commonplace examples. These we have discussed initially. We have a multifunctional copying machines, that is print, scan, copy, xeroxing machine. The flex printing machines, as you can see earlier, we used to have offset printing machine, but we have digital printing machine. This is also an example of mechatronics device. The best example I can see is automatic teller machines that ATM, we withdraw money from the ATM cell. You must observe, if time permits, if you can meet personally, you can go through the videos also how the ATMs work. There is a card reader, your ATM card reader, and the actuating signal and the counting signal is given to the note counter, and the delivery is done mechanically through the dispensing device. We have the example of microwave oven as well. So kitchen microwave oven. So that is also one example of your mechatronic device. Of course, it uses microcontrollers. Washing machines also are the examples. Food dispensing machines, washing machines, dryers, dishwashers, and hard disk drive in a computer, this ejection mechanisms, all these are examples of your day-to-day examples of your mechatronic systems. And even in construction equipments, we have many mechatronic devices. So this is a brief introduction, friends. We'll wind up today, and next class we'll start with your detailed discussion about sensors and transducers. I joined a bit late, and thanks for your time. And whatever are your questions, as I said, I don't want to disturb the class in between. You can put on my WhatsApp number. It is with you. And in the coming days, as and when required, we can make use of this board also. I'll adjust the camera for the board as well. Wherever written material is required, we'll have it on the board initially, because this is the introduction part. I'm conducting it through this PPT. And if you want to share, still I hope you have time. You can unmute yourself and ask your questions right now. Otherwise, I'm done for this initial lectures. If you have any questions, you can unmute, and any query, if you want to talk to me, probably we have another 5 minutes. I don't know what is the time limit. You can unmute and discuss with me if you have any questions.